Hello everyone, I'm Annie Gibbins and you're listening to Memoirs of Successful Women, the podcast where you get to hear candid conversations with fascinating women from around the globe who share aspects of their business and life journey, how they measure their success and what they have learnt along the way. So I'm delighted today to introduce Serena Carcasole, who is a best-selling author, lead generation expert, and podcast host. She's also the founder of Amazing Women Entrepreneurs Network, which is a rapidly growing and in-demand network, and is also a wife and mother and doing it all. Serena is deeply passionate about empowering women to thrive personally and professionally. So welcome to the program, Serena.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to sit here and to chat with you and have my tea in my hand, and so I'm ready.
I'm looking forward to our conversation. So you're a business growth strategist for online entrepreneurs at this stage of your life. You're running this amazing women's media company. So I'd love to tell me and the listeners, what are you doing at the moment? What does your business look like at the moment? And then we'll backtrack and have a little look at what your journey has been to get you to this stage in your life.
Wow, I'm doing a lot. I do a lot. I do more than the norm, than what others are usually doing. I probably tell my clients to do less instead of do as much as I do. But it's been 13 years in the making, so I think I have a little bit more, little more experience in the sense to be able to handle more.
Yeah,
but
sure.
So right now, like my main thing has been for the past couple of years has been growing the network, the Amazing Women Entrepreneurs Network, which has been growing at record speed. It's awesome. We officially started it 3 years ago when I started doing my line of summits, Amazing Women of Influence summits, and that was meant to just bring more me in front of more women entrepreneurs for my marketing agency. I had a small marketing agency and I wanted to start growing it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was it became an incredible brand right from day one. I was inviting speakers, and speakers were telling me, wow, this is amazing. Like, you did a great job branding this. And I never say yes to summits, but you caught my eye and I'm in.
Oh,
And
that's
I was
what you want.
So I was really excited about that. So it was just going so well. But the best of it all was when the first summit went live, I had like over 100 testimonials.
Yeah.
People filled out the form. I was never seen anything like that before. Over 100 testimonials of this is the best summit I've ever been on, and so inspiring and all that stuff. So anyways, it just went so well, and people are saying oh, I can't wait to the next one. I'm like, oh, Rick, I guess I'm having another one. So in October, so that was June of 2017. October, I had a second one, just months away. I was crazy, but I did it. I did 3 summits in 9 months.
Wow.
I should pull off 3 summits and a gift giveaway event. So anyways, I was just it was so much fun. And so I started a group with the summits to get more women all together in there, because I've had multiple groups, but I wanted a specific group just for women entrepreneurs. And so, I decided, Amazing Women Entrepreneurs Network. It was just kind of rhymed well with the name of the brand of the summits. I started the group, and it was amazing. It was doing well, in a sense where there was a lot of inspiration in that, but it was growing slow at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I started putting, some extra time into it. I really put a lot of dedication into it. And the last year has been most of the growth, because that's where I've been spending most of the time. But the last maybe year and a half has been where most of the growth has been. So anyways, it was a brand new, in 2 years ago, it was at 1,200. We are now at 47,000, I think. No ads. Yeah, it's been great. It's growing organically, no ads or anything like that. But the women are just so amazing. Every woman that joins, it's so much inspiration, so much, empowerment. It's just beautiful. So we have, this awesome group, and then I realized that I needed to do something a little bit more with it. I needed to take it a little further. So I decided to start a blog. Now, this was about a little over a year ago, year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to start a blog, actually probably 2 years now, but I started a blog, then start this website. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's start publishing like co-authored books. Like I'm the type of person that doesn't start like a little slow and then get to make my way up. I'm
Yeah.
like,
You're like,
let's start a
woo, what can we
series of
do?
books. Yeah, right. So I was like, let's start a series of books,
Yeah.
of co-authored books. So we started doing these, like it was all about, helping women to get attention and to get attraction so that they can get more leads for their business. And that's what I've always been doing. I've always been helping my clients with, but I hated helping people, only a few people at a time.
Yeah.
I wanted to help a lot. And that's when I realized that, being a marketing agency or being a virtual assistant wasn't enough for me. For me, I needed to help more people. I wanted to bring more knowledge and exposure to women to, really create this movement of success and thriving women. So, I ended up, like, just to really make a long story short, because I could go on for hours, I ended up starting, all these different things that I could help women to get more visible. So it was, started doing the co-authored books, and I started doing events, the summits everybody loved. I started opening it up to women that didn't have the credentials, I guess you could say, in a sense, where they didn't have their email list size and all that stuff. I started opening it up to other people, and I started bringing more opportunities to others. And it's just been an incredible ride, and we're doing a lot of wonderful things. Just launching our magazine today we finally finished it today. So
congratulations.
That's July, end of July. We're heading towards August now, but it's been awesome because it's an amazing magazine. So we've got the magazine going.
And so is that what the magazine's called? Amazing?
It's called Thriving. No, actually, it's called Thriving Women Magazine.
Thriving Women Magazine.
Thriving
Terrific.
Women. It's all about helping women to thrive, because it's not just about business.
Yeah.
I call my 5 pillars to thrive is business, money, then mind, body, spirit. And they all they all kind of flow with one another, because when one pillar is broken, it affects the other pillars. So the whole purpose of the network and the magazine and all the great things that we do is all about helping women to thrive in all areas of life, so that there's nothing that affects, because your money affects your business, your business affects your money, it affects your health, and your health affects your business because you're not working at full capacity, right? So it's just kind of like it becomes this domino effect. So that's what the network's all about. It's about helping women to thrive in all areas of life, and that's where we do that through the magazines, through opportunities, through summits, through co-authored books to help women become best-selling authors, and so many amazing things that that we're doing. And then on top of that, we have the coaching and the consulting and my Rise program and all that. So I'm doing quite a bit, as you can see, but it's all based on the same thing. It's all based on helping women to really get that, to get that credibility in their business, to be visible. Omnipresent is my favorite word right now, is to be omnipresent, word of the day, because it's important, to build your tribe, to build assets in your business. When you do that, you end up, and you're serving and you're helping people and helping solve other people's problems. You know what? Your problems are going to be solved. And that would be, when it comes to money and to having more exposure for your business, etc. So that is, that is what we do to help women.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. And I've enjoyed just, joining your tribe myself. And so just seeing these opportunities, like the magazine, like the co-authored books, I'm assuming a lot of people are attracted because of that visibility issue, as you were sharing, that, well, how do I start? How does someone write a whole book themselves? How do you get yourself put in a magazine? And so a lot of people, and I know I have on this program, they're sort of like going, I'm doing well in my business, but to get to the next level, to really get myself exposure, how do you do that leap? So I think that's really wonderful. So tell the listeners a bit about the books then. What sort of co-author, what does that mean for someone to be a co-author in a book?
Absolutely. So a co-authored book. So we have a series of books called the Hope Book Series, and what that is, it's a series of books, and again focusing on the different pillars. So each book has its own topic. So I'll give some examples. But the purpose of the books is to give hope to women, and not only to women, because men can get hope also. But just because the network is based to women, but I say women, but it's open to everyone. And it's just we're giving hope. We're sharing stories. We're sharing our stories. stories, we're sharing our tips, and then of course you're getting exposure, and you get to call yourself an author,
Yeah.
because you're part of it. Because not everybody has the time to write their own book, or feel that they have the will or want to write a book,
Yeah.
or maybe they think that their story is not good enough, which we all have a story in us. So shake
Of
that out of your head.
course. Yes,
We all have
exactly.
stories. We can all write our own screenplay,
For
but
sure.
yeah, absolutely. But so the whole thing is you get to be a co-author in a book with at least another 10 other women, anywhere
Hmm.
from 10, let's just say, to 20 women, and you're sharing again your story. So, for example, our first book was "Your Time Is Now." And
Yep.
that's all about like taking taking the plunge into something that you really want to do, like maybe full time into your business,
Yep.
mostly into business, but it could be into anything. Maybe taking a plunge into my story, like just to share a little bit, like a very short piece of it, is that like for me it was like when my father passed away, when he was sick with cancer. He was my father was my best friend. For me, it was
Mm.
beyond devastating to lose not only a father but also a best friend. And but he always said, when I pay off my mortgage, I'm going to have, I'm going to buy my big, bright, shiny, truck. Like he wanted to buy like a big, SUV, right? Or
Yeah.
pickup truck or something, but brand new. He never bought brand new. He always buy used, used vehicles. Used to come and, trade cars and take my truck so that he can go on about, like he loved the driving. And, you'd catch him speeding all along town and with the music blaring. But anyways, he loved,
Oh,
what he loved,
gorgeous. Yeah.
and but he always said, when I pay off my mortgage, I'm going to do this. When I pay off my mortgage, I'm going to do that. Well, unfortunately, my father was declared with terminal cancer
Mm.
2 weeks before he paid off his mortgage.
Oh,
He, 2 weeks
yeah.
anniversary, 2 weeks before it was time to pay off his mortgage, he passed. He
Yeah.
didn't pass. He got, he was told he had cancer,
Yeah.
stage 3B at the time, when we realized it was actually stage 4 cancer. So my father didn't get to have that. He
Yeah.
didn't get to live his life, and he paid off his mortgage. He had a beautiful house. He lived a great life. He always felt content that he had everything he ever wanted. He had a granddaughter. He had 2 daughters. Like
Yeah.
he lived he was able to reach a great point in life. But my father was very young. He was only 56 years old.
Oh,
So
that's really
just to
sad.
kind of go, it was very difficult, very, very, very horrible time for our family. But one thing that I learned from this is that you can't keep hoping for one day something's going to come. When I
Mm.
have 5 clients, I'm going to start investing in myself. Or, I'll start my business when I think I pay off my mortgage. Or I'll
Yeah.
go full time in my business when I'm making $10,000 a month. Like, you know what? There's always going to be a what if. There's always going to be, and very seldom does it happen afterwards. And sometimes it's our health that stops us from making it happen.
Mm.
Sometimes there's, it's our fate, and that's not the way to live. My father didn't get to have his big, bright, shiny, his own truck that he always wanted, because he was afraid to have that. He could afford it, but he was
Yeah.
afraid to have that extra payment. He
Mm.
just didn't want to have that extra payment until he paid off his mortgage. So, I said that I was going to make sure that I'm going to help people to be able to live life now. My father died at 56. He was way too young.
Yeah.
Way too young to die and not be able to have all the things that he ever dreamed of, that he worked so hard. My dad was such a hard worker,
Mm.
So that's when, from that day when my father passed, I said, I'm going to change lives, and I'm going to help people to achieve their desires and their goals and everything they want in life. And so that's what the whole book series is. So Your Time Is Now, was focused on taking a plunge. Then we have another one on Oh My Health, There Is Hope. That's all about, holistic healing. Like there's You Can Have It All is the next one that's coming out, and that one's all about mindset, manifestation, law of attraction. We have a bunch of lead with Courage, Queens Who Conquer, which is a great book about women who have conquered, whether it's terminal illness, whether it's chronic pain, PTSD, narcissism, all this
Yeah.
different, anything that you conquer, even like from going from poor on the streets to rich, living the life. So a lot of great books to inspire women. And so again, it's not only meant to inspire and to share a story. It's meant to get exposure for yourself and your business also,
Of
because you
course.
get to share tips, and then you get to offer a gift, and whatever the case is. So it's a great way to get credentials, because when you become an author, you have more possibilities that come to you. When somebody tells me that they're a best-selling author, it just to me, it proves a little bit more that that person is an expert at what they do.
Of course.
You know?
It's the
So it
ultimate
kind of gives you,
positioner.
yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you that extra credentials, and you get more media opportunity, in a sense of more people, like more podcasts or speaking opportunities, because they only want to deal with people that are authors. It opens doors. It just opens more doors for you. And so that this is the opportunity to get that start. Now, I think everybody should be writing a book. There should be no ifs, ups. I've got about probably 5 books on my computer waiting to be published.
Wow.
But everybody needs to be writing a book, and this is a great start, because you don't want to be just one book. You want to have multiple books. Books don't make you money. They give you credibility. They give you a little more exposure. They kind of, advance you a little bit in your business. But they're not money makers unless, you're Harry Potter.
That's
whoever says you make a lot of money and you can get rich from books, I don't know about that one.
They're kidding
I've yet to
themselves.
see that.
Exactly. You're going to be Jamie Oliver or
Yes, but you need a lot of books, and it's possible. Anything is possible. But unless you start, it's not going to be there. You got to make it happen, right? So that's a great start. So co-authoring is a great way to segue yourself into that.
So tell me some examples then of some women who've joined your program and got exposure. How did it change their life?
Well, it changes your life because, again, as I mentioned, it gives you more opportunities to be able to put on your bio that you're a best-selling author. Mm-hmm. It gave them more opportunity in the sense where maybe more opportunity to be, interviewed. It also gives you more credibility, on your website. Putting on your website, on your about page, that you're a best-selling author is a lot better than, not having anything at all, and you're just saying that you help people do X, Y, Z. Yeah. So it's more of the status, but it's also the opportunity by connecting with the other authors. It's by being part of a big network. That's another beauty of, with our books, is that you're more prominent in my big network. You get more exposure than just, you don't just get exposure in the book. You get exposure in various ways, like maybe my magazine or another book feature, or my Sapphire Club, which is a networking, so you get more exposure, and more opportunities through my large audience.
Yeah. And I think that's a wonderful thing. That's right. It's a network. It's the people you then meet along the way. It's the people you're then connected with, and that you can help each other, share with each other, be given opportunities once you understand each other. Because it's a new movement of women really supporting and uplifting other women to shine in their circumstance. So we've all got our own little niche. It's finding it and then maximizing on that. What have been your biggest challenges, Serena? Creating this business? So you've gone from 13 years as a marketing specialist, and then doing your day job, going, I'm good at marketing, I know it, and I want to scale it and build this amazing women media company. And so you've had exponential growth, but by far, but what have been the biggest challenges for you setting up a company and making this happen?
The challenge for me, in all honesty, is being able to let go and let other people take control and handle a lot of the work for me too. I'm a perfectionist. And so because I've been in the marketing industry, virtual assistant, marketing agency type industry, doing websites and brands and all that for the past 13 years, it's hard for me to let somebody take control of something. I need to do it, because I always, like, the speed that I have at doing things is different than others. Like, I'm fast, very fast at doing things. I'm also pretty darn good at, coming up with putting brands together. So I just have a hard time with letting other people take control. And I have so much background and experience in the VA world and the agency world and all that, I'm hypercritical, like, somebody says that they take them 2 hours to do something and it takes me 15 minutes. I'm going to be like, why is it taking you 2 hours? Yeah. Why is it something that takes me 15 minutes take you 2 hours, And so, and that's the problem, is that I know so much. Yeah. I also know that there's a lot of people that you need to watch out for that are scammers, right? In that industry too. So, who do you trust? So, because I'm always like, I've been through a lot of people over 13 years to understand and know, having a multi-VA, agency and stuff like that. When I first started, it was just, I've been through a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people come and go who makes promises and says they're going to do something, or says that they're an expert at something, and then they're not.
Yeah.
So I've just seen so much that I've become super sensitive and super critical, and I can spot somebody that's not being authentic in like a heartbeat. So that makes it worse for me, because I don't give people chances long enough. You know what I mean? I'll be like, luckily I have some amazing women. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like this horrible person to work with. I have a lot of women. I have a great team of people that work with me, and I've been working with them for years. But
it's because you trust them. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? I'm very lenient, and I give people a lot of chances. Like I definitely do. But when we first start, if I catch you in a lie, because I'm really good at that, I'm intuitive in that way too. If I catch you in the lie, there's no second chances in that way,
Yeah.
So, so you know what? Because I know so much, I pick up on things so quick. So then I have, a turnaround that I have to deal with, and that makes things harder for me. So for me, it's like trusting people, because of all that I've been through, is the difficult part, because I could do so much more, and I would have more time, and I would be able to sleep a little bit more also would be nice, So, but I just have this thing of, doing things myself. And that's another thing too with my clients too. My clients, most of the time they want to work with me instead of my other people, like my team, because I'm just different. I'm very dedicated when it comes to my clients, and I'm all about, I take a lot of care into their business, and I make sure that they're well taken care of, and I'm giving them my best. And I also give advice and to tell them like, hey, what you're doing is not going to help you, but this will. Yeah. So I put in that extra time. So that kind of holds me back a little, because that means I end up working a lot more than I should, and I just give a lot more than I get paid after, which is, that's sometimes is good and sometimes it's not. But so those are a few things that I think I struggle with the most.
Thank you for sharing that. And I think a lot of people find that once their business gets to that, next level up for many, it's being able to realize that people want to come to the business because of you, because you're the face of the brand, and they don't want the other people. And that's a hard thing to sort of unpack, because you've got to sort of be able to clone yourself, and you've got to have a model that can spread far, so you don't burn yourself out
Exactly.
as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
So what do you say to those women who are not like Serena, that do spend 2 hours doing different tasks, going, it's just so hard, it's so exhausting. They're trying to get it all done themselves, but it's sometimes you don't know what you don't know, or it's just not your flair, or you're trying to juggle, all the other aspects of life as well. What's the message to them?
Don't do it. My honest message is, if this is not something, don't work on things that are not your specialty, because you're never going to get it the way somebody else can get it. Like for me, I have so many specialties. I'm a different breed. Like I'm literally from another universe, because I have so many specialties. I'm a certified health coach, but I'm not a health coach. I got certified because I wanted to be I wanted to be a great support to my clients, who were majority coming to me were health coaches. Yes. So I said, I got myself certified, and I used that as a way for marketing to get in front of more health coaches, but also I used it in a way to help me to be of better service to my clients. So just goes to show you, like, I have a lot of experience and a lot of training behind me. Yeah. So for me, almost everything I do, I'm like an expert at. But I see so many entrepreneurs, so many women who are focusing on trying to do everything themselves. I'm going to build my website. I'm going to do my logo. I'm going to go on Canva and do this. I'm going to go do that. And then they spend days working at something that somebody else can do in 1 or 2 hours for them.
Yes.
So like you're losing so much money, because you could be putting that money into talking to clients. You could be putting that money into creation mode of like creating content for whether it's courses or masterminds or whatever the case is. Like, you're losing so much money. Don't do what is not your specialty, and that's where you'll start to see a lot more success. So having that mindset of, I can have somebody else do it, so I can focus on doing things that can bring more money, because tech stuff does not bring you money in your business. Right? Like that, that stuff is not a moneymaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you can be out there with your clients, getting new clients, converting leads, exactly.
Yeah.
That's where you want to spend your time. And I've learned this myself in the last few months. I've been working with a biographer to write my biography, which is getting launched today. Very exciting. But she asked me this question and said, well, do you want to set up your own publishing business? And I kind of went, oh, and I'm one of those people who go, oh, yeah, I'll try lots of things. And then I'm like, oh, and then anyway, of course I said, oh, no, you do it. Anyway, I've watched what she's done. Dawn Bates, absolutely phenomenal. Like, when you suddenly give something over, which is your baby, which is hard. So I want people to know it's actually really hard that you go, oh, I hope, do you trust this person? How will they work? What will they do with your product, your baby? And then watch their expertise. But it is actually quite phenomenal, suddenly when you see the results and you go, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. And I totally agree to those other women listening. If it's not your thing to be doing design and websites and, lead magnets and other things, all the aspects of your business, there are definitely companies who are there to support you to make those sorts of things happen. Yeah.
Well, and another thing, just to, since we're talking on that and having somebody help you to do stuff is, don't hire the cheapest person. Try to find the cheapest person out there, because dollar value means nothing. Like, and it's true. Like, I've seen so many people are like, oh no, I can't afford $45 an hour or 35 or 55 or whatever it is. Right. And it's like, I have to hire someone that's only $20 or $15 or $25 an hour. But you know what? There's a reason why that person's that low. It's because they don't have the expertise. It's because they don't have the, the referrals. There's a reason for it, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe they're a startup. Not that there's anything wrong with, I'm not saying everybody's not good at a lower rate. But what I'm trying to say is that that person doesn't have the skill set to be able to, work on that task proficiently.
It's the result of what you get for that investment. That's
well, but the thing, like the thing is they end up spending 2 or 3 times the amount of money. So I had a client that came to me and said, I hired somebody to do something, and I've been there too. I've been there, done that. It's happened to me too. But like somebody saying like, oh, I spent, she was only $20 an hour. But, by the time she was done the project, it cost me, she's charged me 10 hours of work at $20 an hour, and it's 200. And then it's like, hold on a second. Yeah. And I was looking at it and I was like, I got it done in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I was $45 an hour at the time. And so it's like, look how much money she saved working with me with a higher dollar rate. So I hear people say it all the time. They've got it stuck in their head that smaller dollar means that they're going to save money, because they're like, I can't afford. You're putting yourself into this like deep dark hole. You don't want to go there, because chances are it doesn't matter how much they charge you. I've been there. I had hired somebody in Mexico who was like, oh, I'm only going to charge you $10 an hour. She tried charging me like 6 hours, I think it was, to do a small page on a website that would have taken no more than 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And she charged me, right? So look how much money she charged me for nothing. And even though it was $10 an hour, she bumped it up by about 6 hours, to get it done. And it was just like, so you just have to be careful. Don't look at the dollar value. Don't let that, that person like win you over because how much they charge per hour, because chances are you're still paying more than what you would pay if you hired someone at $50 an hour.
Exactly. And then also once you've hired that person and then you've built a relationship with them, you then end up by default springboarding off their contacts and other referrals and people who are in a good space, which is what your network's all about as well. And that's one thing that you go, oh, okay, well, once I've worked with that and you need another product, then you'd easily find another referral of someone, once again, that you could trust, who would be able to help you with your problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how do people find you, Serena? How do they come and get support from you?
Absolutely. So that you can reach me from, there's amazingwomenopentrepreneurs.com website. Lots of great free goodies there that you can get for your business, content, lots of great things happening. We're actually remodeling the website right now, so I'm really excited to get that out really soon. But you can visit amazingwomenopentrepreneurs.com, or you can also visit visibilitymaven.com. That's also getting an overhaul, but you can visit that website also, where you'll get my Get Visible, Get Clients, Get Profitable blueprint, my very popular blueprint that basically, if you want to get visible and make money and really do it well with your business and be omnipresent, this is the perfect blueprint for you. So you could go to my Get Visible, and you can also contact me through my websites. And I have a private VIP, my Rise Inner Circle, that is launching for anybody that's looking for to get that credibility status and build a big tribe, whether it's through their Facebook group, by building a Facebook group, by hosting summits and giveaways and all this fancy stuff, writing a book. Well, it's a whole year-long program. It's really exciting. So that is something that's available. And of course, on my group on my Facebook, I have multiple groups, but the main group is Amazing Women Entrepreneurs Network, which is facebook.com/groups/Amazing Women Entrepreneurs.
Fantastic. So there's certainly a lot of opportunities to connect with Serena. She's all over it, which is not surprising from being an amazing lady that she is, and all over social as a marketing expert would be. And so for you, let's finish with this, Serena. Then what do you see as successful woman is then? You're a successful woman. How would you describe what success means to you?
For me, success is not about how much money somebody's making. It's about the credibility that they give, what their brand is saying about them. See, it's not necessarily about what you think, but it's what people say about you and your brand and the attention you've given. So anybody that's gotten out there and people know who you are, that to me is success. So building an audience, having assets in your business, like a lucrative email list, those are things that will bring you success for your business. And then the money flows after that. So it's not necessarily about money. It's about how you serve people, who you serve, and then the results you get from it on how people, react to who you are and what you have to offer.
Beautifully said.
So build that attraction, utilizing attraction marketing, utilizing relationship marketing, and just serving.
Terrific. Well said. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining me. On my program today. It's been really lovely, and you are certainly an amazing woman. So well done, Amazing Women Media, and everyone. I look forward to being part of those books myself, and in your magazines, and I look forward to your tribe growing and growing and growing. It's a great thing what you're doing.
Well, thank you so much, Jenny, for having me, for putting this together, and I had a great time. So I appreciate you.
Terrific. Thank you. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Memoirs of Successful Women. You can find me at anniegibbins.com, where you can download my free resources, get connected on social, and check out my online magic transformation program. If you love this show, feel free to subscribe to future episodes, and of course, share it with your friends. I'll see you again soon, and until then, happy podcasting.